Hey instructors, I hope you're well. I'm gonna make, yeah, there I am. I'm live on the screen. So this is super exciting. It's great to be back in our brand new, shiny Facebook group. So first Facebook Live for a couple of weeks. Super excited to be here and be able to chat and connect again. I've missed that. So it's going to be great to see some of you scrolling in, giving me a high five and saying hello. And I've got some really exciting updates. We haven't chatted for a couple of weeks, haven't been online to answer, well, I have been online to answer your questions, but not in this forum. So some really exciting and interesting updates for you. And then, of course, super happy to answer your questions as they come in too. So I'm going to kick off with hopefully getting us even more excited at the fact that we are 1 month out from our United campaign and launches. So 19th of August today, 1 month from today on 19th of September, globally, we launch United Live. So I hope you've seen some of our marketing campaigns around this, some of our imagery. We had a webinar yesterday for club and instructors, and this is all about celebrating coming together, getting back together, whether we're doing this online or live. There's really special releases that have been created. You might have seen small snippets of these, whether you'd managed to join our global summit or just via social media as well. So you've got over 350 trainers, presenters from around the world involved in these releases. It was a special time for the team, and it's going to be a great opportunity for us to share that feeling of being united even through these tough, challenging times we've had. So the launch happens on the 19th of September, but it's up to you and your clubs. That can go through into October as well. So you take your time with it. You figure out what works best for you right now. We're very conscious that not all clubs are open around the UK still currently. And particularly, we know in Scotland they don't open till the 14th of September. So, that date, the 19th, is when globally we're going to launch. But if you want that little bit more lead-in time, feel free to take that launch through into October as well. You can launch this and get involved with this event, whether it's live with people in your venue or whether it's online and doing some live streaming. So quite a few of the releases have that PPL version of the music, so you can still share with your members, your participants, this great campaign and this great event via online as well and live stream with your club. So I'm going to be super happy to answer any questions that you might have around that as we go through the next half an hour. So feel free to drop those in as well if you want anything else answered. The second update for you is around our partnership extensions that we communicated on Monday. So hopefully some great news for you. And these extensions are about getting you and your clubs back actively teaching and more opportunities for you to teach as well. So I'm just going to clarify the 3 options that are here for you and your club. And then of course, if you've got questions you need clarifying around that, then jump in and type them in as we go. So the first one is an additional venue. So a licensed club partner can extend that license into a venue that's close to their original facility. So that might be a community hall, it might be a sports hall, it might be a school, it might be a local park, it might be a sports field. If it is any of those things, of course, and especially if it's an outdoor space, that you get advice from your councils as well, and that's okay. But that extension can go on for 3 months, and this one we've put in place to really help us through these social distancing guideline times. So obviously right now we're not able to get as many people into the group exercise environment. There's restrictions on how many we can have in a space, so this should allow you to just reach more members, to get more people actively participating and more opportunities for you to teach too. So there's our first option. The second option is an additional program. So any licensed club that already is partnering with us can have an additional license, additional program for a period of 6 months at no extra cost. So this will be a program they haven't had on their timetable for the last 6 months to a year. So it's a new program and an opportunity to introduce something new for their members. possibly for you to dust off a certification that you've had on pause for a couple of months and get back in teaching as well. And if we just think of all those members that have been during COVID possibly working at home, trying out some new programs, feeling and doing something different, that they now have this opportunity to try these things out. So yeah, that's really, really exciting. Oh, my computer is beeping at me. Here we go. Okay, I'm back in. So the additional program, yeah. So there's option 2. Option 3 is a completely new facility. So this will be a facility that does not currently partner with Les Mills. So if you have clubs in your area that you're not able to teach our programs at because they're not partnering with us, they are able to have one program for 6 months at no cost. So another opportunity for you to liaise and communicate with the clubs in your area and hopefully get the opportunity to try something new. And I've just had a question come in from Fiona on this. Are these options mutually exclusive, or can clubs use a combination of the offers? So as far as I'm aware, Fiona, they could do the ones that are relevant to them as a club partner with us. So if they wanted to do the extra venue, that would be fine for the 3 months. And if they also wanted to add an additional program for the 6 months, then that would be fine too. So they could use what is on offer currently out of the 3. Well, of course they can't if they're already, it's the same. And then you've got the clubs that are taking on our license, that you might take on a license for 6 months, that would need to be within their venue. Okay, I'll just check no other questions have come in. And the third update for you guys is around our live stream classes. So we communicated, it's got to be about a week or so ago, possibly a little bit longer, around some live streaming classes we do with you involving the PDs, the United releases, and the UK trainers. So the fantastic news is these are going ahead. And these are happening. They've morphed and evolved into something a little bit different than we originally anticipated and we originally communicated. So we're using a platform that can host 1,000 instructors to join us for these sessions. We're also working across different countries. So we're working with the PDs in New Zealand and then trainers in the UK in different venues. And when we were doing our testing around using the platform and with the technology that we have and across the countries and the time zones, we learnt and we discovered that the experience of those live stream masterclasses would not possibly be what we want to deliver for you as a first experience. So we're going to be working on that in the background. How in the future can we ensure that we can go ahead with this and it can happen across those countries and globally in different time zones. The other thing to bear in mind as well at the moment is Auckland have gone back into lockdown. So just that in itself will impact how we're able to work with them and the technology there too. So what's going to happen with these live stream sessions? The PD will be with you and 2 of our UK trainers, and we've listened to your feedback and they're going to be really focused around technique. So we're going to be looking at the United releases and program specific and really drilling down into the technique of the release and of the programs. There'll be an opportunity to practice the technique with the PDs and the UK trainers, and then there's going to be lots of time for Q&A to really ask them whatever you want to ask. And that opportunity I just think is fantastic. So what this will do is prepare you to be able to teach and launch these releases in the best possible way that you can. So that they're going to be kickstarting from the end of August. I think it's from next weekend, yeah, they start. So the other great thing here is you will be able to gain a development point for you. So another opportunity for your development points too. Julie just asked about why there's no live class for grit. Okay, so that's a really great question to bring up. It was almost my next line of conversation as well. So this for us is new, it's the first time we're doing these live stream workshops globally, and having the PDs involved with us as well across the program. So it's a test and learn for us. So what we wanted to do this round was work with 6 of our programs, gain feedback from you, test and learn and see what happens and how it works, listen to what your thoughts and feedback are, and then of course continue to evolve these events and sessions for you going forwards. So this will really help us to shape and evolve what Q4 is going to look like as well, and how we might change and certainly incorporate more of the programs too where we can. Where there will always be challenges with the live streaming of our programs and content will really be down to the music. So I know that you're aware not all of our programs have the PPL option of the music, and that will always be our barrier to be able to live streaming the releases. So that is always going to be there for us to work with. Not all of the programs will always have those PPL free versions too. So I'm just going to scroll and see if there's any other questions coming in. There's been quite a few questions that came in on my post yesterday, which is fantastic and just great to have the chat going again and the engagement as well. So I'm just bringing them up on my phone, and I want to make sure that I've covered off all of the questions. So Craig talked about the dance classes and the streaming events. So Craig, I hope I've answered that already. So that's great. Tomoko, hello, you've just come in and said, I thought the live streaming masterclasses doesn't count as ongoing development points. It absolutely does, because the shape and the sessions have changed, the content and the sessions has changed. So it's going to be technique based and really quite educational for you on how to deliver these releases. We really felt it should be a development point for you, because it's going to be an opportunity for you to upskill, for you to develop yourself, and then pass that on to your class participants as well. Okay, I'm just checking on the questions here. Okay, so Anna, hi Anna, you asked around the United releases being available before the 19th of September. Yep, they will be available to all of you on the 28th of September. So a good couple of weeks before that suggested start launch date, an event that's going on globally. But of course, remember, that's an ongoing day. You can pick and choose when you want to get involved with those United releases and launch them with your club and your participants. There was also a question, and I know there's been questions around why are different countries getting them at different times. So this is around how we're able to release the releases around the globe and the ability to do that. What we're certainly working on, and what you'll notice this time, is we've really squeezed the time frame. So even though there may be a couple of countries that might be a week, maybe a couple of weeks getting their release before the 28th, it's really not too much time, and we'll continue to work on squeezing that time frame so there's not too much difference around the globe as well. Yes, 28th of August. Did I say 28th of September? Yeah. Okay, so Bexy, I hope that's answered your question. Okay, that is something I'm very aware if you're learning a lot of programs, that time frame of learning. But as I said, even though the 19th is the launch date of our global event, if you feel you're not going to be ready and have the time to learn, then please push that out a couple of weeks, a week or so that you feel really ready to share them with your club and your class participants. Richard, you're asking a question. Are there any exclusions in terms of which clubs can take up the 6-month trial? E.g. was thinking runners. There is no exceptions at all, as long if the club's already a club partner with us. What they won't be able to do, they can't do a program that they're not currently doing, but might have been on their timetable a year ago. So it needs to be a new program to them that they've not utilised within their partnership before. Dear, my date, I didn't even know I'd said 28th of September. I'm going to stick with the questions that were posted on the group. Chris, hey Chris, I know you asked a question around IMTs, and in particular Trip IMT, and there hasn't been one available to you, which you are really keen and passionate about getting trained in. Obviously, all of our training has been online during this period and will continue to be in the foreseeable future. I know there's a question around training coming back live, and I'll come back to that as well shortly. You know, the way we are scheduling these trainings is really important to us, is that to the needs of our instructor community out there, and also the needs of, you know, our club partners in terms of what they're offering on their timetable. So what we're not able to do is hold a module that is only going to have 1 or 2 people on it, and that's really around the experience for you. So this is group exercise, it's group training and group education, and part of that is doing that with others. So to us, it's really important that we can provide that training with a great experience with the trainer and with yourself as well. But what I will do, Chris, I'm very conscious we haven't been able to put one on during the last 3 or 4 months. I'm going to take this away to the team and see what we can look into getting set up for the back end of this year, and then seeing how those numbers monitor. And it'd be great to get out there and encourage and you know, clubs to get involved with this. And just on that note, actually, with those partnership extensions with the program, Trip Immersive is the only program that's not included in that as well, just so you're sure, just so you're clear on that too. Okay, so Chris, I hope that's answered your question. Nick, you asked about Body Step and the PPL free music and being able to do that by the end of the year. So the United releases, the Q3, doesn't have PPL option for Body Step. We have been able to access PPL free music before, and I know looking forwards we really will work towards that. So in Q4, hopefully you will have a PPL free version to use. You will have Q2 as well, and Q1 going back for Body Step. Peter, I know you asked about the regional groups. Please just request again. You know, sometimes it just takes time. And anyone who wants to go, sorry, not the regional groups, the program groups. I know a lot of you want to have access. That's absolutely fine. I've answered. Matty had a question around the United releases, and then Morven and I know Fiona, obviously based in Scotland, talking about support in Scotland. We're really aware that you guys still aren't open until the 14th of September. So what we are doing is we are extending our Les Mills Originals to be available to you until the end of September. So that's our entire instructor community. So the workouts that are accessible on YouTube that have Les Mills original music, that will be accessible for you until the end of September. We unfortunately won't be able to add in any new content because it will just be up until that point. And then of course, we really want to encourage you to work with your clubs to live stream our PPL free versions, whether it's the Q3 releases or the Q2. So you do have that option there for you as well, but it certainly is available till the end of September. And then I'd really like to think that these 3 partnership extensions that we've come up with will support all instructors and clubs going forward. So this is something for you if you are based in Scotland, you could possibly be having conversations with clubs in your area now in ready for when you launch and get back in September. So if you just go to those, and there's so much more information on that on our pages as well, on the Les Mills web pages. So you'll be able to go in and read. There's extensive FAQs to the detail of how the partnership extension can be used. I'm just going to say with this, Lucy, hey Lucy, you've asked about live trainings and when will they be coming back, specifically advanced training. So we are really working with our clubs and the industry at the moment. And at the moment, in the foreseeable future, which we see as the next 3 to 4 months, we will not be scheduling any live trainings. And there's a couple of key reasons for this. So many of our club partners are still not open. If they are open, you know, their focus really at the moment is getting members back in, retaining their members, creating great experiences for them, as well as this health and safety. It's also key for us that the other key point with this one is around the health and safety of our training. So when we start live trainings, that involves our trainers having to do fairly extensive travel. And of course, at the moment, the advice is not to be doing extensive travel, and certainly not on public transport, which they have to use a lot. So the care and safety of our trainers is key, but working closely with our club partners as well and what will work for them. And for you as instructors, you know, it's so important that we are able to provide a very safe environment for you to do your live training in. So the way that we're working is we're just really staying listening, active, being aware of what's going on in the industry, working and talking to our club partners, and we're looking at that. At the moment, the 3 to 4 month, we won't be offering any live. The great thing is we are planning more online trainings through October and November, and we'll be advertising those dates relatively soon, so you'll be able to get booked on some online training. And you know, the uptake of the online training, the feedback in the experience has been incredibly positive. I really do appreciate how much we love the live training, and you know, me myself, I would love to be back in that environment when we're able to do it, but it's very important to us that it's a safe environment, and that our club partners feel comfortable with it, and that you guys will feel comfortable, so we can focus on that live experience. You know, in the meantime, that online space, you know, we've had so many learnings over the past 4 to 5 months. The trainer team have reveled in their upskill and getting involved with this and just connecting with instructors too. Our pass rates have been incredibly positive, and the standard of instructors and the quality of instructors we've been blown away by as well with the work, you know, and that opportunity to do some pre-work, to just have one-on-one time with the trainer too. So I couldn't recommend it enough, even if you know you're a live training lover, you know, you revel in that. There's some other fantastic opportunities of learning in that online space too. So maybe you just give it a try. Okay, I'm just coming down here. Being asked if the PD and UK trainer live sessions will be filmed if people can't make it. Sarah, that's a really great point to bring up. Because we're not live streaming any music, we are able to record it. So this is great. So even if you can't book on to attend it live and get involved with that interaction with the PD and the UK trainers, we will be videoing it, recording it, and we will be sending it out at a later date so you can all have access to it. Terrell, hi. Terrell, you're asking around opportunity to have access to previous releases that have PPL-free music rather than just 2. So this is a conversation that's come up, and it's something that we've taken away and we're looking into as well. I do think the great thing here is what you do have access to now. If you're back teaching, you've got Q1, Q2 and Q3 with PPL-free music. So there's an awful lot of content there to be working with in this period as we evolve and we see what we can provide and do with the past releases too. Peter, I'm going to have to get back to you around the program groups and hopefully help you out with that one. Might be best if you private message me on Facebook, and then we can deal with that. Michaela, hey Michaela, hope you're good. I've just been asked to cover a class so my friend can go to a funeral. The class finishes at 8:15, but the pump masterclass webinar starts at 8. Can I join late? Yeah, you can, Michaela. But because it's now not going to be a class that you'll be coming in late, it's going to be that opportunity to practice technique with the PD and the trainers. Coming in late will be absolutely fine. As long as you're registered beforehand, you'll just be able to join in and then get involved with the interaction. Hi Louis, quarterly live workshops, is that still for the foreseeable future? Is it only webinars for now? It's all our live events, Louis, yeah, into the foreseeable future. You know, whatever live event we put on, we have to be working within the guidelines and regulations and health and safety. And our quarterly workshops involves a lot of travel for our trainers and presenters. So that's really key. So when we're talking about live training, that is really all of our live events. So it's online for now, but we will really keep you updated and keep you close to that as and when that shifts and changes. Diane, hey Diane. How long can you now put a program on hold for? I've not got several of mine back yet. I've skipped Q3 for them. So my best bit of advice for you would be, if you feel you're not able to teach your release currently, I'd go for the skip option. So that means you're just skipping this release. That doesn't impact anything around. You've got access still to all of the education, everything that we're offering online. You could then, if you skipped Q2 and you skipped Q3, and then you're still not able to teach, you could then put yourself on pause, and that goes up. The pause goes on for up to a year. Okay, so that's still accessible to you as well. But if that's something you're unsure about, you just want to contact Liz Mills, you can always contact into the LMUK Instructor inbox too. Dawn, hey Dawn. For those that have done online training, will there be an opportunity to attend a technique masterclass? Well, Dawn, I'm hoping if it's in one of our 6 programs that we're doing our live stream sessions with, I'd highly recommend that you join one of those. And that's going to be our first test and learn around running technique workshops online as well. So, you'll have an hour and 15 minutes that's really focused on technique, practice, questions, and you having the opportunity to hone in on the particular parts of technique that you want to work on. But it's going to be a good opportunity to listen and learn for us too. Justin, he's put a great comment around the online IMTs, how we took more away. It's that different learning experience, possibly able to absorb more information. It's not as physical. Yeah. Lucy, any ideas on how we should interact with our clubs and GFMs to launch the United releases all together on the 19th with a bang, despite COVID restrictions? Yeah, I mean, it is going to be a great opportunity to come together and celebrate being together. But I guess it's so important that we do share with our clubs, start conversations with our clubs now. I think if you have the access we've got onto our hub page around United, I'd really encourage you to go there. As an instructor, you have access to the instructor part of our Brand Central page. This is really new. So you're able to get an instructor login, and there's United assets for you to use. So again, another test and learn for us. We really wanted to create some assets that you could utilize and use in your social media channels and work with your clubs. So you'll find in there some great assets that you can customize. You can customize and use with your club, but you can also add your own imagery in too. So if you go to our webpage, United webpage, the hub, and then you'll be able to gain instructor access. And I think Laura was going to drop in the links to those web pages in the chat as we're going. I'm pretty sure Laura's watching. I hope that helps, Lucy. Yeah, I just think it's all about connection, communication. But going to your club with some great information and tools to help and support them as well, and then get involved with the planning, help and support with the planning. Stephen, what happens, hey Stephen, if you've reached 12 months of pausing a program and still don't have a class to teach? Many gyms and leisure centres have dropped Liz Mills. We are going to be so open, Stephen, to having conversations around this. So if you find yourself in that scenario in a year's time, none of us know yet what it's going to look like in 12 months. So, it's about staying in touch and communicating. And of course, we'll be working with you. We'll be working with you. We'll be working with our club partners. We'll be listening. And we'll hopefully be coming up with solutions and support that will help you. Yeah. So what we're certainly not going to do is take any of your certifications away if that's been a struggle for you. Sarah, hey, great you've been given the extra PPL free music for last and current release. Will this be an ongoing thing? Yes, there's a quick answer, Sarah. Yeah, moving forwards, we'll be providing PPL free music. Some of our releases at the moment, programs, we're not able to. So for example, Body Jam, because of the music we're using, but the teams will be working on, longer term, how we can create PPL free music for as many of our programs as possible. Dawn, hey Dawn, I've covered this, so you might want to watch back. The launch for Q3 is September the 19th, our United Global launch. So that's where you'll receive your releases on the 28th of August to give you time to learn them and get involved. Veronica, how long can we use the live streaming material? So I did mention this a little earlier on, just to confirm it's until the end of September. So you've got another 6 weeks to use that material for. Yeah. Les Mills has come in and answered. And this is just a really good point to reiterate, actually. The webinar again that we did yesterday, Carl and Amy ran a club and instructor webinar that provided lots of information around the United launch and how you can get involved. So for Luciano, and we've dropped in a link there as well that you can join in. Craig, do some of the original artist releases contain PPL-free tracks within them? They don't, Craig, and unless the music is in our PPL-free version, you can't use it. Brilliant. As well as dropped in all of the access to the United Hub web page here, which is fantastic. All right, we are there. It's been filled 30 minutes with loads of information for you guys. So thanks so much for joining today. If you're watching back, you know you can post in questions, and myself, Les Mills, will do our utmost to answer them and get the questions and the answers back to you. As always, stay in touch. You've got our Les Mills UK instructor inbox to email and ask any queries that you have. We've got our live chat as well. And I'm very happy to hear from you as well if you want to come directly to me and ask me any questions or support that you need to. So really good. I can't see you, but I can sense you there. Great to connect and chat, everyone. Super happy to be in this group. And actually my last little message, because I know this has come up too. Some people have struggled to gain access to this group. There's no reason we want all of our instructors to join this page. What we are noticing is the approval process. To be approved into the group, you must answer all of the questions, provide your email address, and you almost must tick the box that asks that you agree to the rules of the group. And I think that's the key thing that a lot of instructors are missing. So when you go in to request to join, you have to complete your email address, the programs that you teach, and then there's a little box that asks you to tick to say that you agree to the rules. And that's what a lot of people are missing out. So if you are requesting to join and you haven't done that, what will happen is your request will be declined so that you're able to reapply. So please do pass on the message to your instructor friends that they just need to review and go back in and check they've answered all of the questions, ticked the box for agreeing to the rules, and then we can approve them to come into the group. So yeah, do get the word out there, and we are going to put a little screenshot in Les Mills Insider next week. We might repost it this week, just so it creates real clarity. Okay, so give another go, joining if you haven't done already. Okay, thanks guys. I'm going to go, leave you to enjoy your Wednesday and rest of the week, and I'll see you next week. Thanks, great to see you.